to do an update on my picking Dermatillomania recovery story thing. So the last time I did a video, my experience was pretty abysmal. I had really dipped back down almost until the same level of picking that I had been doing before starting therapy and all that. It was super frustrating. I was very disappointed in myself and just feeling real low about all of it. So I have really good news though. This is kind of even shocking myself. I don't really understand it yet, but so I went to therapy 2 days ago on Wednesday, and it was from 1 to 2 p.m. and my therapist was like, "So are you ready to quit cold turkey?" She was like, "Are you ready to walk out of here and not pick your skin anymore forever?" And I was like really taken aback by that question. I was like, I don't know. I don't think so. And she was like, "Well, you don't want to just reduce, you want to quit, 100% quit forever." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's what I've been trying to do for 12 years. And she was like, "Well, I think you're ready." She was like, "I think you're just ready to do it cold turkey and just never do it again." And so we got to talking about that and my hope for that to work is low. And she was like, "I get that you feel like your hope, your success rate for that is going to be low." And I was like, "Well, if you take my entire history, right, of this, I'd say once a week, I get up in the morning and say, today is the day that I'm gonna, not pick my skin anymore." And then I end up folding sometime during that day. Maybe I last a couple hours, maybe I last 6 hours, maybe I last 15 minutes before I just revert back to that behavior. So, but right now, fingers crossed, I'm over 2 days, over 48 hours of not picking. That sounds really crazy to say, and I can't express to you how terrified I am to say that out loud. And I think a lot of people will be very confused at that statement. It even confuses me. I should be happy as hell right now. But it feels too good to be true. It feels like I don't want to put this news out there and then have people know it and then have failure come later and then for me to just say well, see, it's just like every other time. I'm not sure. My mom has often said to me that you take the shit in your life until you can't anymore. And that is really good advice, and it's sort of saying you'll deal with it as long as you possibly can until you're ready to not deal with it anymore. And maybe that's what's going on. I'm just totally sick of it and now's the time. Also, I think what was tremendously helpful was that my therapist looked at me in the eye and was like, "I think you're ready." She was like, "I think you've made a lot of progress even though you feel like you haven't made any. And I know that these failures feel like you're never going to get out of this cycle and you're never going to be a person that doesn't pick their skin. You just really believe that that's your life." But she was like, "I, from an outside perspective, can see that that's not the case and that you have made progress even though you've relapsed." And she's like, "I think you're ready and I believe in you and I think you can do it." And it's strange because I've had people in my life that love me say that to me, right? I've had Alex says that all the time. I believe in you, and I really do, and I love you, and I think you can do this. Like, he says things like that, and my mom too. Like, people just say that to me, but I think it's like to have someone that has that expertise and is also like looking at my life objectively from the outside, say like, I finally think you're ready as like a professional. I think you can do it, and I just want you to try. And she was like, you might fail. And she was like, I'd really like you to try is just like saying, okay, I can not pick for 5 minutes. And then say, okay, I didn't pick for 5 minutes. Now I'm not going to pick for 10 minutes. And she was like, just do it as long as you possibly can. And then she was like, if you pick, start the clock over. And somehow I am 48 hours into it and I haven't. I did start out with that sort of incremental time thing, and I'm still thinking about it. I actually downloaded an app called Nomo, which is for addicts, and it can be for anything: gambling, porn addiction, drugs, alcohol, skin picking, whatever. You can customize it, and it like gives you updates. I actually have one on my phone, and I still have it to this day, even though I don't need it anymore. For cigarettes, when I was trying to quit smoking cigarettes, and it's like I'm at like 4.5 years not smoking, but I still have it on my phone, sort of as a reminder that like I did this thing and the clock's still counting, and like I am a recovering smoker. So I'm hoping that this app can sort of help me in that way, just to sort of like quantify the time, because I feel like if you don't keep track of that, those things are important. Those details are important to a person in recovery. If you're not tracking it, then you just kind of lose sight, and it doesn't seem as important. The steps don't seem as important as they actually are. And so I don't know. It feels really good. I would be lying if I said that like I wasn't terrified that that I'm gonna fail. That it's just gonna like along the way I'm just gonna like absentmindedly pick or something. I will say, yesterday I was experiencing this a lot, and this is very strange to me. I think this is a psychological thing. I knew I had committed to her and to myself that I wasn't going to do this anymore, and I don't think I was actually having any type of like reaction to anything like touching my skin, but my back and like the back of my thighs and some other parts of my body felt very itchy. Like it felt like I almost had like poison ivy or something like that. And I have this sort of inkling that it's my brain sort of saying like, well, you can't pick now, but now I'm gonna make this other thing happen to your skin so that you can touch it and interact with it. It was weird, and I didn't keep myself from scratching. I would just sort of that, and then I would just stop touching myself. Because it like literally itched, even though I think it was a psychological like byproduct. That is not happening today. So I don't know. I'm just gonna keep trying really fucking hard. Everything is going good so far. I don't know. I have to say the cravings are still there, of course. But I'm just trying to keep my hands off my skin completely. Even if I have an itch, I do it as quickly as possible and put my hands down. I'm not sure exactly what's different this time, but I really hope to keep it up, and I'm gonna keep everyone updated. I think that a relapse right now would probably be a big blow, but I know the first week or two of recovery, like cold turkey quitting anything, especially like when I quit cigarettes, the first 2 weeks, they're hell, they're the worst. And then it gets easier from there. So I'm going to keep at it, and we'll see. So that's what's going on with me and my picking right now. I'm happy about it, but I'm terrified too.